morning. What a hectic morning it was. I am thankful that crap is over with. Let's move on with the day, shall we? So not only do we have the obvious threat of certain disasters coming our way, now we have to deal with the propaganda BS, which that's an ongoing issue. Only had 2 years of that crap recently. So people are arguing that a lot of the stuff that's coming out of Ukraine is not true. Some of it is just blatantly obvious. And there's other aspects where they're like, no, that's propaganda too. And just kind of left scratching your head and wondering, is this war even real? Is this some weird Alex Jones? They have these crisis actors making all these films and using old footage of like blown up tanks and stuff in order to just mess with us. Yesterday, a man posted a series of tweets on Twitter. I hate that phrase, tweets, Twitter. Anyways, he posted a series of tweets that was saying, is this the real reason that Putin invaded Ukraine? And it showed locations of U.S. biological weapons plants, labs. Pretty sure there were, actually, let's face it, they're both. Biological weapons labs in Ukraine. And Russia was like, hey, I don't like having that stuff at my border. You can be away with that now. And it seems like all the major areas that Putin is attacking so far are where these labs are located. The guy kind of has a valid argument. So while one person can look at these tweets and go, gee, I wonder if he has a point here, Twitter decided that they're going to take down the entire thing and ban the guy's account for spreading misinformation. But all the other propaganda is still flooding through Twitter, and let's just admit it's very obvious what it is. So, being the person that I am and hearing that, this guy had these tweets going around, he's sharing information that kind of sort of makes sense, and then all of a sudden Twitter's like, get rid of it! It's probably true. If there's anything that we should have learned in the last 2 years, it's that the people who say something and make other people go, and then they have their stuff banned or shut down, and then 3 to 6 months later, the media is saying the exact same thing that person said, but now it's official that it's fact and not a... And then the person's account is still blocked and they can't share anything, even though they were way ahead of the curve here. Yeah, we should probably take a good look at like what the hell we're doing on Russia's border in Ukraine, tinkering around with certain viruses that, by the way, what wasn't it Moderna that they patented some virus that has matching DNA to a certain COVID strain that is, are we the baddies? And let's not forget, what was the big story just before this whole Russia thing broke out? What was it? Because it wasn't COVID. It was the fact that the CIA is still spying on the American people. By the way, somebody was ahead of the curve on that too, and he crashed his car into a tree doing a excessively high speed at 4:20 in the morning back in 2013. Not related at all. No way. The same guy that said the CIA, or what was the name of the article? Why Democrats love to spy on Americans. It's still online and you can find it at BuzzFeed. Yeah, 2013, Democrat, the Obama administration was spying on Americans, and they're using the CIA and the NSA and any letter, 3-letter thing group was like collecting data, and it was kind of a big deal back then. Yeah, they never stopped. They're still doing it. That was the main story. Then all of a sudden Putin invades Russia, and it's like, poof, that's gone. Whew. Man, we dodged a bullet there. Thank God. So, yeah. We're pretty much screwed. Has anybody seen Fauci? Anybody? Bueller? Then there's a video that just came out today, and this one kind of irked me because not a fan of New World Order agenda, forum, anything that really has these words within the name of it. Yeah, one of the women that's fighting in Ukraine told a news agency that not only is she fighting for Ukraine, but she's fighting for the democratic New World Order system that democratic countries are trying to form around. Yeah. Okay. That's, they're really making it hard for me to decide as to who I'm rooting for here. Remember the good old days when all we had to worry about was Bill Clinton getting a blowjob and, Obama killed a guy? You remember that? Obama, he killed a guy. Yeah, So, he killed a lot of guys. He had a kill list. We still don't know who the hell was on that. It's still going on. Yeah, that thing. So while I would like to just kind of sit back and let these two sides go at each other and punch each other bloody and unfortunately take a lot of innocent people with them, I know eventually this shit comes here. Even here. Whether it's through $4 a gallon gasoline or some stupid virus that was released from a lab. I'm not saying COVID was released from a lab. I'm just saying a virus could potentially be released from a lab that would cause a global pandemic and therefore halt the world economy and make everything just go to shit. While I wish I could sit back and just let that be, I mean, even the Amish here were affected by COVID. Because after all, they have stores, they do business, they have interactions with other people outside their community. And granted, they also think that if you catch COVID, then you were a sinner and you probably deserved it. Kind of makes you think. I mean, I'm not all pure and stuff, and I got it, so maybe they're on to something. But no, you look back at the last 30 years. 30 years. That started Agenda 21. I've got that book, and there was the forum, and they all gathered together and said, hey, climate change, we need to do all this stuff, because by the year 2000... the year 2010, the year 20... Now it's 2030. That's, yeah. So, what? Agenda 21 was supposed to fix climate change, and then it turned into, the World Economic Forum. Now you have the Great Reset. Now I've got Agenda 2030. And you know what they all have in common is this weird desire to lower the Earth's population. I mean, wasn't it Bill Gates who said that there's 3 things we need to look at, which was cutting carbon, reducing pollution, and what was it? Reducing the number of people on the planet. Yeah. And then he was like, in no particular order, we need to discuss these things. Let's start with depopulation. That's still on YouTube. You can find that one. Yeah. And why is it that while Biden is reducing our carbon emissions by reducing or getting rid of new leases on land to pump oil and do fracking, he shut down all the pipelines. But then when it comes to war with Russia, the nuclear option, that's okay. So while we're looking at World War III, the environmentalists seem to be like okay with this, and then there's two major problems I found with Biden's recent statements on possible nuclear war. One is that even when you're in a bunker, you must consider social distancing. The other thing that I came across is that after a nuclear blast, after the war has actually happened, did you know that you can leave your bunker after 3 days? That is not true, but yet that is what is being presented to the public. It's like 3 months or longer. Keep in mind, everything is still radiated outside. You have to have your iodine tablets to make sure you don't get lymphatic cancer, because that's no good. And then to top it off, when you start farming, because you don't want to eat radioactive animals and you can't grow plants that are radioactive, because then again you're the tumors, you'll become a freaking nuclear mutant. You have to remove the top foot of soil from the land, which is, let's face it, here that's all the freaking topsoil. You're gonna get zero farming done. Then there's the rain, which is going to also bring yeah, it's no good. So when they tell you like, yeah, you could just walk out after 3 days, it's because they don't want you around when they walk out after 3 months. So what is going on in Ukraine? I have no freaking idea. What do I think is happening in Ukraine? Well, I think I seem to remember some articles where Putin was claiming that we had bioweapons labs on Russia's border, and after the whole COVID thing, yeah, I can understand why somebody would be pissed off at us for having bioweapons labs in other countries, and shit tends to get out, and I'd be pretty pissed at us too. So, not saying Putin's doing the right thing, but hey, if he had just done strategic missile strikes on these positions, just blown up the freaking labs, and it was just like done, I'd have to say I'd be okay with that. Because, yeah, the whole COVID thing, I think Fauci needs to go on trial. I think Obama needs to have a stern talking to about letting that bullshit happen, along with Trump. Actually, I think Obama did make it illegal to have that in the U.S. So you got to give the guy some credit somewhere. Oh, but the money got funneled somewhere else. So that was okay. Yeah. Kill list. Well, that's about it for me. If you want me to go into detail about any of the stuff I already discussed previously, then let me know in the comments section. Like and subscribe, because that's what everybody says on this social platform. And keep on typing.